Well, good evening once again. Day 1295 of the Trump administration. 89 days to go until our presidential election, less than 3 months from now. Today, the president was back in the battleground state of Ohio, a must-win for him. And it was a day when the pandemic met electoral politics in many messages, some of them subtle, others not so much. With less than an hour left in this Thursday night before we give way to Friday, we are even closer to 5 million Americans sickened by this virus. The death toll now north of 160,000 of our fellow citizens. And to paraphrase the president, it truly is what it is. And it's a staggering number, growing by about 1,000 souls a day. The latest model out today from the prestigious University of Washington research group projects we could lose almost twice that number, nearly 300,000 by December 1st. Here's how the president spoke today about the crisis.
In an interview this week, you were talking about people dying of coronavirus. You said that's true and it is what it is.
Nobody can do what I've done in terms of all of the things that we're doing to combat this horrible disease that never should have been sent to us.
We have to produce not only cleanliness and perfection in every way, but we have to protect our most vulnerable citizens against this horrible virus. Our strategy shelters those at highest risk while allowing those at lower risk to get safely back to work and to school. Instead of a never-ending blanket lockdown causing severe long-term public health consequences.
And as the man on the TV used to say, but wait, there's more. Trump now appears to be employing the promise of a vaccine as part of his re-election strategy. Today, he took 3 opportunities to suggest that we could even see a vaccine by Election Day.
We have a lot of vaccines under study, by the way. We look like we're going to be really good on vaccines and with therapeutics also.
So what's the earliest we could see that, a vaccine?
Sooner than the end of the year. Could be much sooner.
Sooner than November 3rd?
Oh, I think in some cases, yes, possible before, but right around that time.
You said that a vaccine could be ready around November 3rd. Are you optimistic that that will happen? And will that give you a boost in the election?
On the vaccine?
Yeah.
I am. I'm optimistic that it'll be probably around that date. I believe we'll have the vaccine before the end of the year, certainly, but around that date, yes, I think so.
President, will that help you in the election?
It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hurt, but I'm not doing that. I'm doing it not for the election. I want it fast because I want to save a lot of lives.
Under Operation Warp Speed, 2 vaccines are already in the final stage of clinical trials, and we'll have a vaccine very soon, I hope long before the end of the year.
Dr. Anthony Fauci weighed in on that with his own reality check.
We're trying very hard to ultimately get a vaccine that might be available by the end of the year or the beginning of 2021. But that's many months away.
Amid all of this, there has been a call for increased widespread rapid COVID testing. Today, on that front, we learned that Ohio's Republican Governor Mike DeWine at first tested positive for the virus using a rapid test just prior to greeting the president in Cleveland.
Everyone who sees the president is tested. So I was tested. I went from there to the airport. And when I got to the airport, found out shortly thereafter that I had tested positive.
And again, but wait, there's more. We say at first he tested positive. Tonight, the governor said he tested negative in his second test of the day. His state has seen a rise in virus cases over the past several weeks. He's been forced to take aggressive actions to try to contain the spread, as many governors have, including issuing a stay-at-home order, a mask mandate, closing schools, postponing the state primary. Tonight, there appears to be a new warning about an uptick in cases from Dr. Deborah Birx, but nothing she was willing to say publicly, mind you. The folks at the Center for Public Integrity once again reporting that in a private phone call on Wednesday, Birx told state and local officials the White House Coronavirus Task Force is keeping an eye on the virus numbers in 10 specific areas across the country. Here they are. The report says Birx also warned about family gatherings being super spreader events. This comes just days after Trump criticized her for saying the virus had entered a new phase, and 2 weeks after another private briefing in which Birx warned 11 cities that they should take aggressive action against the virus. All of this plays out while the Labor Department says nearly 1.2 million Americans filed first-time unemployment claims last week. It makes it the 20th straight week the number has topped 1 million. It's also estimated upwards of 30 million Americans find themselves without enough food during this economic calamity. Congress and the White House are talking about a relief bill, but they've got nothing, and the two sides are billions of dollars apart. Congress is supposed to begin recess tomorrow. A lot of lawmakers have already left town for their 3-day weekend. Trump has said he's ready to sign a series of executive orders if there's no relief bill. Also tonight, New York State Attorney General Letitia James has launched a major legal challenge to the NRA, moving to dissolve the NRA as part of a lawsuit that charges the leadership with fraud and corruption. The NRA, and here's the rub, was chartered as a nonprofit in New York almost 150 years ago. Late today, it filed a countersuit. The president, a staunch defender of the group and a beneficiary of its generous campaign contributions, weighed in earlier today.
That's a very terrible thing that just happened. I think the NRA should move to Texas and lead a very good and beautiful life. And I've told them that for a long time. I think they should move to Texas.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.